And the same community acknowledges that the extinction of the dinosaurs would have come from a very similar event.
Yes.
So
it's an interesting parallel, actually, because Lewis and Walter Alvarez, who were the father-son team who first proposed that the dinosaurs had been made extinct by an asteroid impact. And by the way, that evidence has begun to change slightly. There's now a feeling that it was a comet impact, more likely than an asteroid impact. Again, it doesn't matter. It was a cosmic object that hit the Earth. When they initially proposed that some kind of cosmic impact had resulted in the extinction of the dinosaurs, they were ridiculed and ignored by their colleagues. They were subjected to all the same kind of dirty tricks that Jacques Cinq-Mars was subjected to, and that I've been subjected to as well, to try to marginalize and diminish their work because it challenged mainstream views that there could not possibly have been any event on such a scale, that the world proceeds in a relatively peaceable way all the time and we don't need to take cataclysms into account in our history. Lewis and Walter Alvarez directly challenged that view, and they challenged it initially on the basis of exactly the same impact proxies that have been found that speak to the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis. So there's a layer in the Earth for 12,800 years ago full of these impact proxies. And there's another layer in the Earth from 66 million years ago, which is full of the same impact proxies. And it was initially on that evidence, the impact proxies, the nanodiamonds, the shocked quartz, and so on and so forth, that Lewis and Walter Alvarez initially made their case. They were dismissed. Then the crater was found, deeply buried beneath the Yucatan Peninsula and in the Gulf of Mexico, found with remote scanning. And once the crater was found, the critics no longer had a strong leg to stand on. And since then, it's been absolutely accepted that the collision with either a comet or an asteroid caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. And it's important to remember that the first evidence for that was impact proxies, not a crater. And those impact proxies proved to be correct in the case of the extinction of the dinosaurs, and I believe they're going to prove to be correct in the case of the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis as well. Besides, you wouldn't expect to find a crater where the larger objects collided with an ice cap that was 2 miles deep. The crater would be in the ice, it wouldn't be in the land beneath. You might find shock effects in the land underneath it. You wouldn't expect to find a crater if you have 2,000 airbursts all over the planet. There's no crater left from the Tunguska event either, but the Tunguska event flattened 2,000 square miles of trees. Airbursts can be very, very devastating, and when you have hundreds or even thousands of them taking place within a span of a few hours all over the planet, you are looking at a massive global cataclysm.
When you said within 5 years we'll know more, Graham, immediately I thought, when's the sequel?
The sequel to Ancient Apocalypse?
Yes.
I don't know whether there will be a sequel. I hope there will. That's a matter that's entirely at the disposal of Netflix, and they will make their decision depending on the reactions of viewers to the show. That's what they'll make their decisions. So it's very clear that the archaeological campaign, they've reached out to a few of their friends in the media, particularly the Guardian newspaper here in Britain, and got them to write smear pieces about me, which have no factual basis whatsoever. It's very clear that is part of a campaign to persuade Netflix not to do a second season. That is the objective of the hate campaign that I've been subjected to since the release of the series, and the lies that have been told about me. The objective of that is to discourage Netflix from running a second series. I like to think that Netflix is bigger than that, and they'll make their own decisions according to their own priorities, not according to the demands and the authoritarian insistence of a group of archaeologists. The Society for American Archaeology has actually written an open letter to Netflix asking that the series be reclassified as science fiction. And yet they claim that they're not trying to censor me. To take a series out of documentary and reclassify it as science fiction is what they're asking for. That is censorship, pure and simple censorship that they're doing there. I don't believe that Netflix are going to give in to that. I think they'll make the decision about a second series in exactly the same objective way that they make the decision about a second series of any documentary. Did it do well enough? Is there enough interest in it? If it is, perhaps they'll make a second series. But I don't count on that. It's entirely outside my control.
Were you surprised to read things like we saw in The Guardian, that just such an overt accusation, such a massive attack towards yourself, or were you expecting things like
I
this?
wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that because I was a journalist at a time when there was some integrity in journalism, and you checked the basis of your story. You didn't just sort of lie there supine and let archaeologists tell you what to say. You actually would question them back. The Guardian, there are actually two pieces in The Guardian, one in The Guardian itself and one in The Observer, which is a sort of Sunday version of The Guardian. And they're both equally devoid of any factual evidence refuting my work, but they are full of insults and alarmist claims, like claiming that this is the most dangerous series on Netflix, and actually asking in the Guardian headline, why has this even been allowed? Okay, who is the person who is going to allow or not allow my freedom of speech? Are archaeologists supposed to be the arbiters of that as well, as to who may speak freely about the past and who may not speak freely? I think we're entering a most unfortunate situation where journalists are supporting archaeologists in seeking to impose restrictions on what may or may not be said about the past, in seeking to limit the breadth of point of views that can be brought to bear on the past, in seeking to say that archaeologists are the only people who have any right to speak about the past. I'm very disappointed in the low quality of journalism that has resulted in this smear campaign against me. Not a single one of those journalists got in touch with me and asked me for my comments or my point of view.
I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple-digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm going to tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone. Also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline.
I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up.
If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you going to do? What's the choice that you're going to make?